Oh, looking for a 1996 Dodge Viper? Yeah, absolutely. I got one here in red right now. Hey guys, Gavin with Unique Classic Cars out of Mankato here. Gonna be kind of just showing you a breakdown of being a salesperson at Unique today. Whether or not you're here looking for something new as this GT500 here, or something even as old as a 1909 popcorn wagon, I guess would be the correct term for it, since there's no engine in that one. We're just talking about something you're planning for in the future, or you do have a vehicle that you're dead set ready to go and need to take a look at it today so we can make a decision. We're the ones that help you out through that whole process. Yeah, if you're a guy that stops in, or guy or gal that stops in once a week or once every 2 weeks, I mean, even at that point in time, you're gonna see our showroom change all the time. If you're in here once a month, a couple times a year, something like that, every time you come in here, it is gonna be completely different. A couple fun ones that we've taken in recently, we can start right over here at the Super Stock, honestly. The absolutely highest package that you could get in 2022. It is pretty much like today's Demon. So in 18, you had the Demon making 808 horsepower. This one's coming in at one less at 807. It's got all of them. So this is a Challenger Hellcat wide body, red eye, super stock. So it's kind of got everything going for it. You got the wider front wheels and tires. I believe that they're 18 by 11s. Big piece of this one, of course, is the dual snorkel as well. I think they only had 571 of these made. Man, and speaking of rarity, it's the one that's sitting next to another Mopar, very rare. From what we can tell, there isn't full documentation to prove that is the only one, but it is probably one of, I would imagine, less than 5, even 3 maybe, that would have come out of Canada in this color combination, with the yellow wheels, yellow trim on the interior, and on the steering wheel as well. Badges are different, but yeah, this is a fun one. We've been going through a couple Vipers recently, but yeah, that's just a couple right here. I mean, there's a whole nother 160 cars in here, and everyone's got its own independent story that we've got to learn, and then, of course, portray to the customer in a proper way. Yeah, another prime example of just finding the kind of the perfect car for somebody, kind of at a point in time now where she actually can get into a fun car. Really love the color. There's a couple things that weren't quite perfectly to her liking, but you know, we have the resources here with our service department, so we were able to kind of just ask what we needed to get taken care of. From there, got the list over, got everything quoted, and once everything was paid in full, we got it right over to service. And then I think we had to mess around with the top a little bit as well, but get it shipped off to her so she can enjoy it with the rest of the season here. Kind of a prime example of why I love working here is just, you get to see stuff that you never really would get to see at most other places, especially dealerships. This is kind of a fun one that just came to us towards the end of last week. 67 Chevelle SS is a true SS, everything like that, but this one is resto modded up a little bit more. So you are looking at a crate LS3 in this one, 6.2 liter. I know from the factory they're about 430 crank horsepower. I don't know if the crate blocks, I don't know if they're pushing a little bit more, but nice, I believe 4L80 transmission, so awesome overdrive, something that's gonna take all the power. And then of course it presents itself beautifully as well too, so. Nice and smooth. This one, he does have the LSX valve covers on there. This is not an LSX, it is a crate LS3 engine, but just heard from one of our main service guys, Mike. He did say that this came in with some sheet sand. We're looking at 533 horsepower, which is a little bit more than 100 more than what the stock factory application LS3 would have been when they came out with them in 2008. Power steering, power brakes. You can even see like aftermarket, I'm sure these are lighter hinges for the hood and everything like that. So yeah, not a lot of bases skipped on this one. It is a very beautiful car. We're excited to have it here. Since we're walking around talking about some of our more cool ones, this is one that I had a part in bringing in here. So this one came to us from, I want to say Albert Lee, either way, southern Minnesota. Very, very cool, rare Ford to see. So this is a 1969 Ford Torino Talladega. Only 750 of these were ever made. You do have a 428 underneath the hood, C6 automatic, 9-inch in the rear, of course. Man, little lighter. This is kind of like the stock car configuration of the body. That is also a part of that makes it so special, but aluminum hood, honestly, even to compare it to cars today, like if you were to compare this to like a 2007 or 2010 Mustang, let's say with a Coyote, I mean, obviously you're gonna wind up a little faster with that new dual overhead cam, 5-liter, whatever, but this thing moves like a modern car. It is very fun to get out in and drive. I think it's only been through one repaint in its entire life. Another really cool piece, the owner did go through having an elite Marty report done. Breaks it down to being one of one. Obviously, with it being 750 of them made, it's a little easier to come to a one of one conclusion than it is on like a 69 R code Mustang, but still very, very cool to see, and we definitely appreciate having the information when you guys bring us the car. All right, getting a nice cinematic shot of this 70. All right, so the reason why we brought you over to this one is because, well, we're kind of cheating a little bit because I think it's already been confirmed by our service department that it's numbers matching. But this one specifically, got a 350, we're advertising it as numbers matching, but another big part of our job here, being in sales, is, you know, we try and put an initial 9 or 10 pictures when the car comes in the same day or at the very least the day after. But if somebody calls on that car right away within the first, you know, let's say week before we're able to fully go through the car and market it and investigate properly, then it's our job as the salespeople to get under the hood, figure out where the serial or casting number is, and then, you know, take note of it, go back to our computer, do some research, and figure out whether or not it's numbers matching, because to some people, that's a very, very essential piece of the buying process.
What is a casting number?
Okay, casting number is something that's actually gonna be like die cast into the block, so it's gonna be protruding from the engine. Serial numbers, that's gonna be something that's been etched or stamped into the block wherever the pad is. This one, it's kind of blocked a little bit by this alternator and some hoses here, but it is kind of right in there. If you look through, you can see that silver pad. You can see some numbers on it even. Right down in there. See, for this one, you either got to get a little camera and stick it down in there so you can read it thoroughly, or of course take off that alternator mount, and then you get a good eye on it from there. But yeah, no, and if that's been painted over, then, you know, we got to get a little brush and some brake cleaner, try and take that off there. It's stamped in, so if you're scratching at it too hard, you can ruin those numbers. I mean, it takes care and it takes time, and you got to know how to do it properly. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Hopefully you got a good idea of what it's like being a salesperson here kind of day to day. We did kind of go over, you know, if you were to walk in the door and want to explore a little bit, or if you were sending in a text or an email, kind of how we handle that. It's kind of fun to investigate and show you guys going over the numbers matching stuff as well. That is, like I said, a pretty big piece if it is something that just came in. There's either side of 200 cars in our inventory from day to day. Please don't hesitate to call in or shoot us an email, uniqueclassiccars.com or 507-386-1726. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks. It's whatever. Oh, I don't know, a good period here or point. God, kind of buffed that one up. Yep. I hope you really enjoyed going through.
Well, these are all going to be